Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another in the series of the Sky Switch webinars. I'm Andy Abramson, and I've been having a great time for the past year or so hosting these webinars, bringing you some of the brightest and best and most insightful minds in the reseller community when it comes to products and services and ideas and capabilities and all the things that can make you better and wealthier, because we want to help you sell more. We want to help you market more. We want to be able to offer you more that you can do for your clients and customers who turn to you each and every day for advice and help, and most importantly, wisdom. With us today, we have a dear friend of SkySwitch and a dear friend of mine, the one and only Donna Renee of Advantage IVR. And what we're going to talk about today just makes sense. And now it's going to make money for you too. For the last 20 years, many companies, have been able to voice over their own greetings. But really, very little thought often goes into the scripting, the call routing, or actually the experience the listener on the other end of the call actually hears. With all the money clients are spending on marketing to get somebody to call them, they can't forget to mirror their image and brand experience when it comes to that IVR message that goes out over the phone as well. With Donna Renee here, we're going to learn why providing professionally recorded auto attendant greetings should be part of every reseller's core competency offerings that are on your toolkit that you can sell to each and every one of your customers who needs messages that go out in order to keep the prospect's attention. Why don't I introduce you first to Donna? Donna has been in this business as long as anybody, but it's really a career that started by accident, but it's moved into really a perfect gift for her talents. She started the journey at Please Hold, which was a small on-hold messaging company many years ago. Now, 20 years later, Donna is able to do what she loves and does best, voicing full-time from a broadcast quality home studio with Source Connect, Skype, or just a phone patch for directed sessions. Donna learned all this by working for years in corporate America, doing on-hold messages, radio, voiceover, video, temporary employees, you name it, blending the perfect mix of being probably one of the most savvy businesswomen I know in telecom to become really a successful voice talent. So with that, I'm going to let Donna say a few words and then also let you know that we're going to have some resellers joining us, John Adams from Adams Communication and Joran Carlson from Unicom. So with that, hello, Donna.
Good morning. I had to take a second look like, me? You're talking about me? You made me sound pretty good, Andy. Thank you.
You are pretty good. Come on. There's a lot of voiceover talents in the industry, but what you've been able to do, along with a very, very select few others, is really carve out a niche as a telecom voiceover artist.
Thank you, Andy. You know, I did. It didn't come without pain. Whenever you pioneer something, I mean, I live in Oregon, the end of the Oregon Trail, right? So I guess pioneering's in my blood. When I started with Please Hold many, many, many moons ago, I had this vision. I saw the perfect marriage between me, a voiceover talent, and the telecom industry. And so I've been pioneering and just trudging forth, trying to bring this thing together. And I'm so excited for where we are. And this is so cliche, but that old adage, do what you love and you'll never work another day in your life. I'm living it. When people joke about living the dream, I am. So I'm super excited to be here today. And SkySwitch, you said I was a good friend of yours, vice versa. I love SkySwitch and everybody involved. So I'm honored to be here today.
We're honored to have you. Donna, before we dive into what's going to be a great agenda over the next 35 or 40 minutes, I think it's important that everybody understands how this industry has really changed since you first broke in 20 years ago. Because not only has technology changed, but the purpose of using the IVR as a marketing tool has also evolved. So it would be helpful if you can give a brief overview of what's really new and different in the industry versus the tried and true, oh, we've been hearing outgoing messages for years.
Right. Oh my goodness. I could take this whole webinar to describe the changes. So today, what we get maybe $40 to do, you used to get 8,000. I mean, it's amazing. What I do in my home studio today, you would go to a bona fide studio in a downtown area of a large city somewhere. In the room with you would be the script writer, the director, the producer, an engineer, and maybe a couple of other people as well. And you'd have these directed sessions, and it was just this big, big deal. And everybody made a lot of money. So everything that we did, people paid a lot of money for. Well, then, computers, everything, the software changed, the computers changed, our devices changes, software changed, and then the whole advent of recording at home and home studios. And it was a rocky start. Whenever you pioneer something, there's that word again, there are bugs to work out. And so, you get the kinks out. Today, I'm very excited about the studio that I have. I have a booth. It's double wall construction. Don't know if that means anything. Some of you it might mean something. I've got Auralex sound panels in it. My mic chain has made 3 audio engineers that I was doing live directed sessions with go, oh my gosh, what's your mic chain? So even though what my product goes on the phone, I take pride in it. I care that if this product goes out of this studio, it can go right on TV, it can go right on radio, it can go right on a phone and sound awesome. As far as how things have changed with telephony, back when I was starting, the most everybody had the on-prem PBX systems, and so I had to go out and install the on-hold player. I can do it. I know how to do it. I don't like it. When everything started changing to VoIP, I was one happy camper because I hate installs. I hate broken machines even more than that. But this is hysterical. I had this tire account where we had over 100 locations. I was proud of that when I grew it from 2. When I started at Please Hold, my boss worked with 2 locations. I grew it to 108. And what I would have to do is, after we got the on hold message program done, I had to put some on cassette tape. I had to burn some to a CD. I had to put some on an SD card. I had to put some on a thumb drive because I would call these tire guys, and I love them. I still work with many of them today, but I couldn't get them to understand how to change a program. You go and you get the thumb drive, you put it in the drive, you delete the program, you put on the new. I couldn't get them to do that. So I had to mail those things. So making an on hold production was a big honking deal and involved more money because I had to mail those hard media, if that makes sense. Did that answer your question? I hope it did.
What you're saying is, with the advent of things like microcomputers and now the cloud, what used to be, and that's where all that money would go. You had studio time, you had people in it, you had engineers, you still have it, but now you can do more efficiently. It's just like SkySwitch being a cloud-based service provider for the telecom industry and for resellers. We're able to deliver more, better, and faster. It's the whole story about Mo Better. So I'm really excited about hearing, what's going on and what's happening and why things are happening, because we've got a packed agenda. Donna, you're you're going to give us, what basically I consider IVR 102, because last year you gave us IVR 101. So I
Yeah.
encourage everybody to go into the archives and on the SkySwitch blog and find the original Donna number 101, because today we're going to talk about things like why image matters and how the phone is a valid customer contact point. We want to really dive into the difference between, oh, I can do that myself, or hire a Donna to do it. We're going to get some great success stories from our 2 guests who are in the family and really understand the difference of where their business was and how this is helping them with their new business, and how, when I say new business, selling new services. We're going to learn why IVR and why Advantage IVR is really your right partner. I mean, Donna is great. We enjoy having Donna in the family for one reason. Donna gets it done. So you're going to learn why Advantage IVR is the right partner for you as a reseller. There's some new subscription credit packets. There's a new iStore. Um, we really want to dive into breaking the mold about how auto attendance and messages on hold can be done differently and better, and really, you know, made impactful. I think that's the key word, impactful. You want to grab somebody's attention when you have them on hold. And by the way, we're going to demystify this. This is not a hard thing to do. It's easy to get started. And most importantly, we're going to tell you how much money you can make by reselling what Donna has labeled voice over as a service. So, and by the way, we've got a great prize package at the end. And remember, your chances of winning the prize, which is a prize from Donna, your chances of winning the prize go way up if you ask a question in the Q&A. Your chances go way down if you ask a question in the chat. And of course, you have no chance if you don't ask a question. So let me pass it over to you, Donna, because impressions are everything,
Yes,
and
they
you
are.
should really set the right impression.
Absolutely. You've heard the adage, perception is everything. Well, I say impressions are everything because that's what advertising is. And that's what greetings are. That's what on hold messages are. It's all about the impression that is left. I've got a couple of examples that I want you to listen to. These are all used with permission. There is a DIY, there's a greetings voice by a phone tech versus a professional. The first one is an OBGYN greeting, and the second one is a telecom. They are both real live recordings, okay? So they're going to sound choppy because I had to delete the identifying information. So the first one is an OBGYN greeting, voiced by the phone tech.
Thank you for calling OBGYN, the office of Dr. Our office is located at 3400 Building C, Suite 475, Georgia, which is located at the north side in Building C. Our fax number is 7872. If this is an emergency, please hang up and call 911.
Okay, that's the phone tech. And this is the same script rewritten by a professional. I'm going to have more to say about this one a little bit later on in the presentation, but here's this.
Thank you for calling OBGYN. If you are in labor or are from a doctor's office, press 0. For all other medical emergencies, hang up and dial 911. For all other callers, let's get you to the right person. To schedule an appointment, press 1. To refill a prescription, press 2. To speak to a nurse, press 3.
I imagine you probably just felt the difference in that. I probably don't need to say too much more. This next one is a telecom greeting. This is a fellow SkySwitch reseller. I have permission to use this. We're not going to say who he is. He is a dear, dear friend. And this is him voicing his own greeting. He said, Donna, please help. Would you voice my greetings?
Thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Otherwise, please choose from the following options. For sales, press 1. For support, press 2. For accounting, press 3. To check the status of a port request, press 4. For the company directory, press 5. To hear this message again, press the star key.
And so he gave it to me and I jazzed it up just a tad.
Hi, thank you for calling. Let's get started. Know the extension you need? Dial it now. For support, press 1. Sales, 2. Accounting, 3. For a company directory, press 4. To repeat these options, press the star key.
So you can just hear the difference between do it yourself and a professional. Really, the impression is different. Got a couple of stories here. We're going to hear these stories before we get to our live awesome guest. Excuse me. I'm going to talk first about Jim Lumpkin. He's the gentleman on the right. He's the former CEO of U.S. Agencies Credit Union. He's retired now. But back in the day, Jim gives me a call. Hey, Donna, I need your help. I called into my office today, and I'm not kidding. I heard no fewer than 5 different voices on my phone until I got to the person I wanted. It made me feel like the left hand didn't know what the right hand is doing. Can you help me? You think image mattered to Jim Lumpkin when he called in? Of course he did. He knew that everybody calling in was experiencing the same thing, and he wanted to change that, and we did. This is one of my favorite stories. Bob Bascom, he is a fellow SkySwitch reseller, Charleston Telecom. He hired me to voice an auto attendant greeting for a new install he had. I think they were a consultant firm. And so I did it, and we went away, and that was that. I don't know, 3-4 weeks later, I get a phone call from Bob. Hey, Donna, I've got to tell you, you got me a new client. I did? Well, do tell, Bob, what happened? He said, remember the job you did for me? Well, they've been in business for like 20 years. The day after cutover, one of their established clients called in, heard your greeting, and was like, oh my gosh, I've got to have these phones. So I got put in touch with them. I sold her phones. I got her everything going and stuff. Here's the backstory. She already had VoIP phones. She already had a me, one of my competitors. But the difference is that VoIP service company had the phone tech voice the greetings. I hired a professional. That was the only difference. She thought that my phones were better because of how the greetings sounded. So impressions matter big time. If you don't take away anything else, I want you to take away this. In marketing, we talk about customer touch points. It's every opportunity you have to make an impression on your client. The phone is the most overlooked customer contact point anywhere. People forget that the phone is a device that we can use to market, to make that impression. Think about us as people. We take in data from all different sources all day long, and we're processing that data internally, and we're making decisions, choices, on and on and on. So I say, don't skimp. There might be a temptation to save money in the budgets, but don't skimp on the auto attendant greetings, because it's an outward facing contact point. You want to make sure that you are creating the perception that you want, because perception is reality. These are some of the brands that AdvantageIVR voice talent have represented over the years. We are a collection of professional voice talents. What we do is we make your brand sound as good as it is. And we also make, yeah.
I think it's important that people understand that it's not just Donna always being the voice, that you have the ability to go out and find the right voice for the right situation if your voice isn't the one that will meet the objective. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. I have 17 other voice talents on my website that you can choose from, because it isn't one size fits all. I am who I am, and my voice is very distinct. I'm a great one-trick pony. But if I don't sound like a very good younger person, my male impersonation is not good. So I have male talent, I have younger sounding voices, I have unique sounding voices, I have foreign language, I have accented, I can get you New Zealand. Whatever you need. And if it isn't on my website and you need it, I've done prompts in the past for Mandarin, Cantonese, is that how I say it? Anyway, yeah, there's 17 of us. And if I don't have it on my site, I know where to go to find them. Absolutely.
And that's real important. Everybody should understand, because I was actually talking to one of my friends who's a commercial voiceover artist, meaning you hear their voice on radio and TV commercials all the time. And Jerry Hauser, who you might also remember from Slapshot days, as he was Killer Carlson, he said, Andy, my voice, that happy, upbeat, funny tone, just isn't what's in vogue right now. And then I was talking to a neighbor whose niece is doing the same type of work, and she's in her 20s, and she's got that real throaty, sexy, deep, young woman's voice that is in vogue for a female voiceover artist. And she's doing a series of Mazda commercials. And, I was thinking that this is what's so important about bringing in you, Donna, because your production side, not only your talent side, but being a producer and a writer of these, you'll be able to figure out what is germane to the market. So if someone's got a pop culture clothing store that focuses on millennials, you don't want grandma doing the voiceover.
Nope. I would not hire myself for that. I would give it to Lanessa. No, I know how to cast. I've been a casting director, so I know how to do that.
And that's what's so important, because that's the value that AdvantageIVR, I think, brings to the reseller. When the reseller comes to you and says, we've got a customer in a certain industry, I can't have any of my guys do the IT voiceover or do the voiceover. It's going to sound, it's not going to work. And you're then able to actually cast or source and cast the right talent for that job. And by the way, you might want to mix it up. You might want to have a 20 something in the morning, a 30 something in the afternoon, based on the data that says who calls when.
Exactly. Yeah, you can dial it in with all the reporting now and the information that we can glean. Yeah, we can really dial it in to hit that target demographic.
That's
Good
great.
point, Andy. I need to hire you.
I'm available for that.
I love it.
Why don't we dive into what you think makes for success? Because you're going to have a couple of your very favorite resellers on with us. But I think it's real important that you're able to explain to the resellers so they can explain to their customers why using an IVR with professional talent is so important to success?
Well, I think it's because, I'll just keep it on this slide for a second. We've done this for a long time. We know what to say. We know how to craft these scripts. We know how to say it. We know the best practices. And I think most importantly, Andy, what we bring to the table is we know what not to say. Remember the DIY versus pro example of the OBGYN greeting? I said I was going to have more to say about that. That came from one of a SkySwitch reseller. He emailed me. He's like, Donna, this is your next new client. This is the worst I've ever heard. Call this number and listen. I did. And this is what I found. The greeting was 1 minute and 38 seconds long. At 58 seconds in, well, and first they had the phone tech voice it, a male voice for an OBGYN clinic. We would have counseled, no, don't do that. Doesn't leave your patients with a warm, fuzzy feeling. At 58 seconds in, he says, if you are in labor, press 0. I'm sorry, I've given birth to 2 kids. I'm in labor, calling my doctor. You better give me that 0 out option right up front. You're in trouble, buddy. So they might seem like simple things, but they are big things, because when you are installing a new system, you've got 75 million things you're thinking about. The last thing that you have bandwidth for is the scripting. But the scripting is important. And so what do? You farm that out to AdvantageIVR, and we can give it the time and attention that it needs. And we can actually do it quick and easy because we've done so many. We know how to do these things. One of the other things that we bring to the table is script writing. Have you had a client hand you this script, this yellow sheet of paper? We took out the identifying information. Here, this is what I want on the phone. Nobody can take that and make it, it's not booth ready. That's what I call it. It's not ready to be recorded. This is what we do. We turn it into something that is booth ready. We can just go right in and record. And this is actually just 1 page of a 4-page script. There were 2 pages in English and 2 pages in Spanish, which is another thing. If you need it in another language, we do the translation and we'll write the script in the language, and they can actually proof it if they would like to before we record it. So I just think that that is huge, what we bring. Here's the last connection I want you to make in your brain. You're wondering, why am I showing you this picture? Not because it's almost lunchtime in certain areas, but because of burger and fries. I mean, is that not the definitive answer? If you don't want fries with your burger, you have to say, hold the fries. Can I have a side salad instead? I want that kind of automatic connection to be made with VoIP phones and AdvantageIVR. We're just the definitive answer, and it helps you go. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. It helps you follow through and really do the best job that you can for your client. Yes, you're giving them great phones. Yes, you're giving them connectivity. Yes, you're giving them all these fabulous UCaaS functionalities, if that's the right way to say that. Now you can give them just the polish that goes on top. If you give somebody a sundae, if you give somebody ice cream, that's one thing. If you make it a sundae, that's another. It's all in presentation. And that's what AdvantageIVR does, that presentation. Super easy to get started. This is just a suggestion. This is what a starting place. And you'll see that John Adams, he got creative. He took my suggestion and he made it his own. We just say, add 3 new greetings to each new agreement that you sell. Now, if you have one of our subscription packages where you buy it at $29 and you sell it at $75, that's 158% ROI. So now you're making your clients sound good, but you're making some money too. That's a win-win situation. This is something I'm super, super proud of. This is a screenshot from my new website, which just launched today. It used to be super confusing to try to figure out, oh, do I want an auto attendant greeting? Is this on hold? Is this even after 20 years, I found that talking to certain telecom people that they didn't really know the difference. We were talking apples and oranges. Well, I created a way to make it so that it doesn't matter. If it's on your phone, it's the same thing to me. I created subscription credits. And this page is all about the credits. We'll get into the packages in a second. What you do is you buy a pack of credits. It'll last for a year. A credit is a 75-word script. You can have a longer script, but it's just going to cost you more credits. It's about 30 seconds of copy. If you use my voice, we're not going to charge you any more credits, just 1. If you want to add another voice, add a credit. If you want to add music, another credit. So you see, everything is the same. Auto attendant greetings, internal system prompts, on hold. It doesn't matter. You want music? Great. Now it's on hold. You don't? Great. Now it's auto attendant. It doesn't matter. It's so simple. We have 4 packages, if you will. And the first one really isn't a package, but for lack of a better word, it's pay as you go, one off, as you need them. You don't have to have a subscription, just $75 per credit. That's it. You can buy 60 credits. It's $230 a month. When you do the math, you're paying $46 per credit. 120 credits, you're paying $350 a month. That works out to $35 each. Or 240 credits, it's $580 a month, and that works out to being $29 each. That's where I got the 158% ROI. You buy at 29, sell at 75. And Andy coined something, which I thought was beautiful. $75 is DSRP, Donna suggested retail pricing. If you want to sell it for more than 75, you can. I have competitors that sell for more. That's just, to me, a good place, but you can do whatever amount you want. Now, here's how it works. It was super important for me to come to you with an offer that was no contracts, just month by month, because that's what most of you do. You want to, you earn that repeat business because you give stellar service. You've got an excellent product. That's what I want to do too. So in order to make this work without contracts, I set it up like this. If you get the 60 credit package, what you're doing with each payment of $230 is unlocking 5 credits per month. And on up you go, 120 credits, you're unlocking 10 per month. If you need more than that, you can get the 240 credit package and you unlock 20 per month. Now, say you have a really big install and you need 25 credits. Well, that's okay. You just make enough payments to unlock as many credits as you need, and there you go. Now, they will unlock automatically each month. Let's say you go 3 months and you haven't ordered anything yet. Into that 3rd month, you'll have 15 credits. The credits all roll over until you get to a year and then they fall off. But I don't leave you hanging. I hate unused credits. I'm not here to take your money. I'm not here to just sell a subscription and hope you don't change them. No, I want everybody to get their money's worth. So I monitor that all the time. I'm sending emails out. Hey, it's almost Christmas. Anybody you want to do some holiday greetings for? Hey, it's blah, blah, blah. I just get creative. You can ask these 2 guys. I send them emails all the time about ways that they can use their credits. So I'm not going to leave you hanging. It'll be up to you, of course, to use them, but I'll do everything I can on my side to ensure that you don't have lost credits at the end of the year. Now, here comes the favorite part. We do have these 2 fabulous gentlemen who are on my subscription credits, but there's a few others that are doing it as well. This is just a few of them. But Andy, I'll turn it over to you now and you can talk to Jorn and John.
Thank you, Donna. Jorn, John, thank you for joining us today. It's really important that we hear from the resellers because you guys are pretty much the overall voice of SkySwitch on this one. You're our customers and you're working with Donna. So Jorn, why don't you give a little background on how you've been using AdvantageIVR and what it's like to work with Donna?
Well, Donna, what did we say? We've been working almost 2 years?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. We've been working with a subscription model with Donna for going on, at least almost 2 years now. What I found difficult to do was, in fact, I have one large customer. We have over 100 and some locations, and I'm the voice on a lot of the recordings. And as you can hear, my voice isn't that great, but I'm out there on a lot. So what we've been using Donna for, and it's been working fantastic for us, is doing, intro greetings, doing the auto attendant greetings, doing the voicemail messages, the general voicemail messages for certain clients. So what we do now is when we do a quote, we have it right on our quote, professionally recorded auto attendant greetings. And we normally include 3 in our quotes, which we would have one, for the day, one for the night, and one for, the holiday. And what we've been doing and find successful is we give that away to the customer. Where we make that up is in our install fee. So we just, add a little bit more in for our install, to have this. But we found is like giving this to our customers it's phenomenal. Donna, how many times have I had to have people said, oh, this is so great, and then they want to re-record and do different things?
Yep, it happens.
You know, we've had quite a few of that. So, and then we're doing, a lot of the promotion on holds with her, where we'll build a customer, direct for that, if they want to do the promotion on hold. Donna's been great at helping script write. I'll send her scripts and I'll get emails back. I think we need to change this. I think we need to do this, for giving more ideas to the customer. But what we found out too is, because Donna, you do most of the guts of our NetSapiens platform, correct?
No, I don't. I have the ability to, but it's a separate entity.
Okay, because I didn't know if you were doing it on some of ours, because it sounds like the same. But what we've been doing, and we're finding, and a lot of our customers like having the same voice for the auto attendants, for some of their voicemails or general voicemails, and then for the add-on, for a promotion on hold or a music on hold.
Yes.
In fact, I'm going to be working with Donna, and she doesn't know about this act, for designing a promotion on hold for us. And then, actually, she has done one for us, but for a bunch of my other customers. But so that's what we've been doing, and this has been working great. I think we blow ours out every month on recordings.
You do. I never have to remind you.
So that's probably it in a nutshell. I've talked to a lot of other resellers that have been referred. I can't speak more highly of Donna and what she's done, but it's helped us immensely, because then, we don't have to have the customer have to try to record it, or, as you say, a tech, like using my voice. So it's really eased up our business on that end. When, and that's what we do, is we go to the customer, we make sure, hey, we get the script, we scrub it with them, and then if I have to scrub it further, I get it off to Donna.
John, what's your experience been working with AdvantageIVR over the years?
Well, I'd want to start off by first thanking Donna for energy and enthusiasm, because it really shows in everything that she does. And she really has made it easy for us to bring this amazing tool into our toolkit, with some of the things that she showed us that she's already done that we could adapt and relabel to quickly get it into our platform of what we offer. Very similar to Jurin, we offer packages with our initial quotes that have 4 greetings: day, night, holiday, and weather. They do have the option to manipulate a couple of those and change them into an advertising on hold if they'd like. And I've had some really positive feedback just from our customers calling us and hearing Donna on our greeting when they call in. And it's always puzzled me too, because clients spend a tremendous amount of time and money on a professionally done website to get someone to call them, and then they call and hear a poor sounding auto attendant greeting after all the money that was spent on that website. And I've always kind of felt like I've told folks is the greeting really is the finished, polished piece, much like music on hold. Instead of having a beep or silence on hold, have something professionally done that really finishes it off for your company system. I can say in the beginning, when I started AdamsCom back in 2004, I was, much like Jurin, the voice recording for every customer that we had, the auto attendants, the mailboxes. Later on, I had our in-house trainer handling all the recordings. And, we did the best job we could with the tools that we had. That was, a telephone handset. We don't have recording booths here, so we're struggling to find a time when phones aren't ringing and people aren't talking. So then you end up paying people overtime to do recordings for people, just so that the system is completed. So I really was excited when I met Donna at Vectors in 2019 about this. We just got on the program in the last few months, but I will say, she's really made it just easy for us to get a nice professional recording, save us time, make us some extra money, and provide our clients with a really nice finished product at the end of the day. And I do have a quick story, if I may. It only take a minute. We've had a long-term client's legacy PBX crash in the last month. We got the call, and of course, we donned our capes and raced to the rescue with our SkySwitch solution. We had them back up and running in short order, but during the fire drill, I reached out to Donna and I said, hey, we have an emergency here. Customer's down. I'd like to use your service for this. can you give us a hand? And oh, by the way, we also need this to be a bilingual recording and have this ready to go. Donna replied to me right away, hey, get it over. I think within 2 hours of her having the files of what we needed for this customer, we had our files back, uploaded into the system and functioning. I mean, that was amazing. In the entire process, she just felt like a part of our team through and through. And I was really excited that we started working with her.
Well, that's great. And that's a really nice testimonial. And I think, Donna, that's a credit, basically, the kind of service that every reseller we talk to would say your company is providing to them. I've never heard anybody say, oh, I would not work with Donna again. Quite the opposite. Everybody says, Donna, absolutely. Again and again, over and over and over. I'd love to work with her. It's great that, you know, Joran and John are able to talk about their successes, but how do you make it easy for resellers who've never sold IVR to a customer? What does Advantage IVR do to make it easy for them?
We start from scratch. I am willing to start from the very, very beginning and communicate with people, find out where you are, what you would like to do. And then I don't mean this to sound weird, but we'll just hold your hand through the whole process. What do you need? How can we help? We truly care. That sounds kind of trite, but we do. We truly care. And we will make it the easiest that we can for you. I have so many different clients, and they're all at different levels. Like if you have, you know, your kids, if you've got several kids, each one of your kids is at a different age. They're at a different place developmentally. You might even have a child who is more mature than an older child just because of their differences. So I just know where each one of my clients are, and I know what they need, and I meet them where they are. And we just kind of go from there. The end goal is always, everything I do is win, win, win. And if something isn't win, 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 we revamp it until it is. So I hope did that answer your question, Andy? I hope so.
It certainly did. And
I
that's,
think
that's what's real important. And I know that you also, as you've morphed into this voiceover as a service, you're creating some tools that can help.
I am creating tools. And this is a screenshot right here of my new store that you guys can go into, and you can order your greetings on the store. Every time you log in, it will say, well, welcome, John, welcome, Joran, whoever your credit balance is, and it will tell you how many credits you have left. When you need to buy more credits, you just purchase more credits, and that's that. This right here, order a new IVR recording. You pop in there. I wish I could do a live demonstration. When anything is new and you first launch, sometimes there's bugs. Well, we just launched today. There's bugs. So I can't go into it live, but it's getting fixed right now as we speak. You pop into this, order a new IVR recording. You can choose your voice talent. If you want music, you can check that box. You can enter your script. What is so cool is it has an automatic word counter. So when you're typing in your script, it'll let you know when you're approaching 75 words, and it automatically changes the credits. So if your script is 92 words, it'll say 2 credits, depending on the voice talent that you've chosen. And it's just super cool. What is really fun is, see this here, your IVR recordings. When I'm done with your recordings, I'll come into your portal. Everything is username and password protected. You'll have your own portal. I'll upload your greetings to this. And so you'll just come into your portal, download your greetings. They stay in there for a year, and away we go. So I'm really, really excited about this. This is what the member, you see this up here at the top bar, members. When you want to get into your store, you just come in here, put in your username and your password, and voila, you're in. I wish I had a screenshot of what it looks like, but I don't. But I'm super excited about this new tool. One of the things we also have created is flyers. John kind of mentioned it. Flyers that you can white label that will help you get the idea across to your clients of why it is really important to have these professionally recorded auto tenant greetings. This is my first generation. I have 5 of them. You'll see 4 here. Congratulations. Now what? Comparing your new VoIP phone to a receptionist. It's now the director of your first impressions. This is one of my favorites. Pierre thinks he's a guard dog. Do you? You know, a lot of people think that they have a good voice. Oh, let's get the receptionist. Well, do other people think the receptionist has a good voice? And of course, you're not going to buy a new car without tires, right? So this, like I said, is part of the first generation flyers. I am so pleased to announce this is my first second generation flyer. And Jorn, I thought about you because you golf more than anybody I know. And I don't know, I'm not saying you're always on the golf course. I know you work, but I didn't hear you. Follow. Oh,
Said I can't golf now with the knee replacement.
no, you can't golf. That's true. So anyway, I am at my 40-minute time limit. I'll just wrap this up really quickly. Follow through. If you want to improve your golf swing, you improve your follow through. It's the same thing with the business, with the product that you're offering to your clients. You want to ensure their success. Follow through. You're not done till they have professionally voiced auto-attended greetings and on-hold messages from AdvantageIVR. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. Andy's going to see to it of who gets into the drawing, and I want to work with you guys. I just encourage you to take this seriously. This prize, this extreme reseller makeover for you and a client, it's a big deal. And so just take it seriously. Pick a client that you know is going to want to work with us and get this done. And I just welcome questions, emails, calls, whatever.
You know, Donna, that prize is like you. It's a great gift to everybody, but it's really a gift to the lucky
Thank
winner.
you.
And Erica will be drawing the lucky winner based on who participated today. You know, we have 28 people in our webinar today, which is a good turnout for an early Groundhog Day. And by the way, the groundhog, has said 6 more weeks of winter, so that should be interesting. But Donna, you've done as usual, just like when you deliver a voiceover or a on-hold message or an outgoing voicemail message, you've done a spectacular job today.
Oh,
And
thank you.
please, the the reason I could say that is when I go into the Q&A, there are no questions. And one of the best examples of if you've done a good job is you must have told everybody who's out there. You know, Dale Morgan just says, I don't have any questions, but Donna has done a great job for me. Thank you, Dale. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Donna did a great job for everybody, not just the job she does when Advantage IVR delivers the prompts and the messages and everything. Mark Rose says, Andy agreed. Donna's presentation was fantastic. I think, Erica,
Thank you
this is,
guys.
we constantly talk to upcoming webinar people and say, this is how you need to do it. Donna listened last time. We didn't even have to coach her this time. She hit the mark just like she does when she's in the studio. If somebody, Alex Harrison just said, it's hard to ask questions when the presentation answers everything clearly. That's exactly my point. Alex, Mark, and Dale, you've all just
Thank
said
you
it.
guys.
You're welcome, Donna, but we really have to say thank you because a couple things came out along with what John and Joran said. A couple things came out to me as I was listening to you deliver such a wonderful presentation. One, it isn't hard to hire you. You've made it simple with your voiceover as a service thing. So that's the first thing. You've made it easy to get somebody to say, I want to hire Donna or I want to hire Advantage IVR. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you've broken down the different categories of where IVR can be sold. Now, that doesn't mean you need an IVR at the front end of your phone system. You may say, as a business owner, I want a live attendant answering all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
But when that call gets transferred to customer support, customer service, tech support, well, maybe there's only 2 people there and there's 4 calls holding. That's where the prompts come in. And that's where you might say, calling about a password change, that's easy. How about doing this, this, and this? And then the person can hang up because they're getting the information they need. Press 1 for password change, press 2 to establish a new account, press 3. Donna can give you those kinds of messages. It's not just, hi, thank you for calling. And then it goes on and on and on. So think about the programmatic aspects of on hold, and then you can work with Donna to script out and deliver it. You can start to automate the call process with voices that leads people to get the information they need. So there's another question here from Rich Sisma. Assume you can deliver the audio files in a format that a specific system may require, such as 8-bit ULAW, RAW, blah, blah, blah. I hate converting audio files. Donna, how do you handle that?
Rich, absolutely. And in fact, Rich and I have worked together in the past, and he had a very unique file format that he needed. Whatever file format you need, I can do.
Great. Urban Warners asks, can you buy multi-credits without the monthly fee to buy the credits? Meaning, can I spend $250, use them, and then buy more? We are new to SkySwitch, and we're building our business with you. We're in Canada. Welcome aboard. Hello, Canada.
Yeah, hello, Canada. Awesome. You know what? That is a great question. Can you email me? Because I had this subscription idea. Let me think that through. I'm sure I know I can come up with something that will work for both of us. So if you can just email me, let's talk about it.
Donna, I think he's asking for is a pay-as-you-go model versus a subscription model. So think prepaid in cell phone, where I need a cell phone number. I'm going to use it temporarily. It's going to be my burner phone. I go in, I buy it. I need it for 2 months. It's $50 a month. At the end, I don't pay for it anymore. I'm done. I can't get any more credits. I can't make any more calls. Versus postpaid in cellular, where your subscription just keeps recharging every 30 days. That's what I think Urban's looking for.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay, thank you. I think that we already kind of have that because I don't make this a contractual basis. I'm hoping that you'll stay and you'll keep coming back every month, but you can cancel at any time. So however many credits you want, say you wanted the 60 credits at the $230, but what you get really is 5 per month. So you're buying, so 230 buys 5 credits. You can just buy that 5 and then just don't buy any more until you need them. You can tell me, Donna, I want to stop, and I'll stop you. So I think I already have that there without having contracts. You can start and stop as you want to go.
Next question comes from Rich again. Do you interface with the end user, or does the reseller have to be the middleman on all communication? I'd prefer you deal with the client directly, and then we just use our appropriate credits.
I go either way with that, Rich. I let you guys drive that. I don't have a formula for how I have to work. I want you guys to drive that. So if you're more comfortable with me being with the interacting with the client, absolutely. I'll loop you into the conversation. Guy Fox from Telepath Communications, he's worked with me since he was one of the first people I met. And he's worked with me for a very long time. And that's what he does. He just sends over the leads to me. I contact the client. He gets involved when he needs to. But then I have other clients who they want me to be kind of the invisible partner. And I'm more than happy to be invisible. So I can be visible or visible, whatever best suits your needs.
Donna, when you do that, and let's say the client of Rich's comes to you, are you billing them or billing them?
Again, I let the client drive that. I find out from the client firsthand, hey, are you making money on this? Do you want to do all the billing? And if so, then I find out what they're going to charge them. And then I communicate the retail rate that the reseller is going to charge. So I'm always telling them what they're going to get billed, whether it's from me or from the client. I don't ever break that confidentiality, and I keep copious notes so I kind of know where I am with everybody.
That's great. So what I'm hearing is a couple things in this hour and this is whizzed by, and we're now at almost minute 50. And thank you to our audience, because looking at the audience count, we haven't lost anybody, which again is a credit to Donna. She delivered a great, if we had the applause button like in the radio studio, Donna, you probably have it on your console. You can hit the applause button.
Oh, when I want to applaud all of you guys. Thank you for staying. I have to tell you, today is my birthday. So that is a fabulous birthday gift. Thank you.
But what I'm hearing is that because of the way the technology has changed, because of the way the SkySwitch Cloud Unified Communication as a Service platform works, the customers of our resellers have a lot of flexibility to deliver the right message at the right time,
Yes.
even down to the right audience. And someone can hire Advantage IVR to record multiple messages, and you might have different messages by day part. You can have a morning hello greeting, and an afternoon greeting, evening greeting. Oh, sorry, we're closed greeting, call back later greeting. You can have prompts that go between the when somebody goes on hold and what they can do. By the way, Donna, what's your view of music on hold these days? Because when I get put on hold, whether it's Apple Computer or someone, the music just sounds so awful. And I don't mean the musical selection. It's 8K audio and it sounds bad. What's your view on music on hold?
I have two views on it. Number one, if you're going to do it, you need to do it right. I hate the traditional elevator on hold music. All of my music I buy from premiumbeat.com, which it is all music that you would buy yourself to listen to. It's awesome music. So that's the first part. The second part is I think we all need to bring some reality into the picture. Yes, hold still happens. Yes, I think that something needs to be there because silence is your enemy. If you are a busy business and you've got silence on hold, all that does is it makes the caller confused. Did they hang up on me? Did I get cut off? And then they're hanging up and they're calling again. It defeats the purpose, right? Bad on hold, again, it's the image. It breaks the image. But what I'm getting at here is I think the reality comes in that with VoIP phones, with voicemail, with direct dial, with call queues, with this, and this, people aren't holding the way they used to. When I started, remember I cut my teeth in this industry working for an on-hold message production company. Everybody had one size fits all. You get a 4 to 5 minute on-hold program. You've got 7 to 10 messages, they loop. That's your thing. We don't need that anymore. That's overkill. Maybe a doctor's office, maybe the IRS needs that much hold. But most businesses, 30 seconds to 60 seconds, I am finding will do it. One case in point, I won't say their name because I didn't get their permission, but they turned me over to their client, which is an auto dealership. And I made this fabulous program. It was about a 2-minute on-hold program. And I worked so hard on the scripting. It was awesome with my awesome music. And then I had them run because they were on call queues. They were calling it on hold. But anyway, they were on call queues. I had them run a report. The average time spent on hold in the call queue was 11 seconds. I'm selling them a 2-minute program. I'm charging them $200 a month for something I should be charging them $50 a month for. So I saved them a whole bunch of money because we were able to determine that. So that's kind of the case in point. Don't have silence on hold. Don't have something bad because it is an impression point. And 3, you might not need as long of a program as what the on-hold industry will try to sell you. It isn't one size fits all.
And Donna, where do you see this industry going?
That is a hard question, Andy, because I'm still developing my opinion. I will tell you what my concern, I have an area of concern, and it's with AI. It's with computer generated voices. I actually had somebody tell me, I thought I was paying for a real voice, not a computer. And I voiced the program. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Did I have a bad day? What? I'm not a computer. But my concern is that people will take the easy way out. I see ads all the time on Facebook. Never pay for a real voice talent again. Get your computer voice. I don't know where that's going. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know how to combat that yet. But just me as a human being, as a person, do I want to have a relationship with a computer? I think of the movie, I'll date myself here, the Stepford Wives. Remember Stepford Wives? This AI greeting. I mean, who wants a Stepford wife? Nobody. I mean, so I don't know. That's just, I don't know where that's going. In terms of work that real people can do on the phone work, I just see it getting more and more automated. I think, Andy, you are really onto something with taking the phone experience and really breaking it down into, okay, what is the caller experience? I see advertising agencies. This is something I've tried to pioneer for years too, and I haven't been as successful. I kind of hit some gold in the telephony industry, but I also want to work on advertising agencies, getting them to see this big picture. Okay, they do the media buy, they buy the TV, they buy the radio, they buy the digital. They need to also think about the caller experience, because everything that a media agency does is designed to call or click. They're ignoring, even agencies with as much billions of dollars as they spend and buy, they are ignoring the phone as a marketing tool. There's no difference between your phone and the time you spend on it than a billboard or a radio ad or a YouTube video or a flyer or a business card or a wrapped vehicle. It's the same thing. It's an advertising vehicle. And so that's where I see this happening, is more and more people are going to take it seriously. And the opportunity is going to be greater and greater to bring in the telephone as a marketing tool.
I think, Alex Harrison made a question saying you're already combating AI because of the other services you offer, such as suggestions to make the script sound better. I think, Donna, AI will be your friend. And I think as you create more programmatic activities with voiceover as a service, AI will start to be able to take the data. Imagine the day, and this is, more of a where I see the world going as a technology futurist as much as a marketer. Imagine if I now know by caller ID that Andy Abramson has called Advantage IVR, and Andy calls once a week to have a consultation about updating our scripts and our messages because we have an evolving business. So the AI layer can say, oh, Andy's already called in. I'm not going to play him the same message he's heard, for the last 3 years, because now we're programmatic. I'm going to give him something new based on a keyword I made a note on that he talked about or asked about last time. And the message could actually become almost personalized. I'm not saying it will be completely personalized, but with AI, you're able to actually deliver somewhat personalized messages about, imagine this, you're in sales. And because you're in sales and your prospect calls you back, and you know that you're trying to sell them a desk, you talk about all the new desks that have arrived to your furniture store. Or the customer called last week wanting to know about bookshelves. And today's message is all about the new colors of bookshelves that we can offer at Acme Furniture and Bookcase Company. Things
Right.
like that are going to come. And that's how AI is going to enhance what Advantage IVR does, not put it out of business.
That is an excellent point, Andy. Thank you. As usual, you are smarter than me.
No, I'm just older.
Probably not by much.
You're too kind. With that, I'm going to say thank you to all of our guests, John and Yorin. A big thanks and a big shout out to the wonderful and the one and only Erica Vasquez, who does so much in advance to make these shows sound so good. If it wasn't for Erica, I would not know what to say half the time. And more importantly, you wouldn't be here as a reseller. So Erica, thank you. Enjoy your next few days off. And to all of you in the SkySwitch community, we want to say thank you, not only for being here today, but for being here with us each and every day, or none of us would be having the fun we have working for you. Have a great week. Check your shadow because the groundhog did. I'm Andy Abramson from SkySwitch on behalf of the only, one and only Donna Renee from Advantage IVR. Have a great year and sell IVR.